Welcome to CCW's Classic Matches. Today we are bringing you a Southeastern Championship match from CCW Anniversary 2, which took place on March 25th, 2006 at the Coral Springs Gymnasium. We are going to have Joey Machete versus the legend, Jake the Snake Roberts. This is for the Southeastern Championship, and this is actually the third year that Coastal Championship Wrestling will be running shows, a second anniversary show. Of course, the main draw for the match is the legend, Aurelian Jake Smith Jr., Mr. Jake the Snake Roberts. This is during Roberts' TNA run. He made sporadic appearances in Total Nonstop Action from 2004 through 2007. Have Dan Evans, who is always upset about the music. Roberts actually from Gainesville, Texas, but always billed from Stone Mountain, Georgia. I always loved the visual of Stone Mountain, Georgia. I imagined a huge boulder in Georgia and a shack with Jake on top of it. I think a lot of people will talk about Jake Roberts in a few different ways, particularly through his Beyond the Mat appearances. And here's Jake now with the famous Python, Damien, in hand. We have Jake with that classic sneer and that classic look, that mustache, and that receding hairline that's still incredibly intimidating for some reason. You can see the kids love Jake. And who doesn't love Jake? As a kid, I used to love Jake Roberts even as a heel. Jake tying up that python, giving the kids a little love. Jake started his career in 1974 in Mid-South, which is Bill Watts' promotion. Stars out of Mid-South with the Junkyard Dog, Ted DiBiase. A lot of people got their start in Mid-South. Of course, the famous Bill Watts led promotion. Let's start that match. Roberts is currently signed to All Elite Wrestling, so you can see him on national television, on TNT, on Wednesday nights. I don't think Tony Khan needs any more advertising on that one. He's a multi-millionaire, doesn't need my help. Jake adjusting his snake. Jake and Machete shake hands. It's a babyface and babyface. Machete had been the champion here, I believe, for 8 months. You can see he's excited to work with Jake, scoring him up. Jake preoccupied with the snake there. And we have our first lockup. Jake takes Machete into the corner. And a clean break. Very different from the snake we normally like to see. You never trust a snake. Here's our second lockup, back to the corner for Machete. And our second clean break. Jake is looking particularly good here. Maybe a little bit of nerves from Machete. Crowd is fairly mixed in the Coral Springs Gymnasium. A little bit of a loose lockup there for Jake. And Machete takes him to the corner. And we see a clean break. And our fourth lockup. Arm drag takeover by Jake. And the crowd already starts with a "you still got a chance." Jake has never been an arm drag type of guy. And he takes the arm drag. These two feeling themselves out. Obviously, Jake's major runs were in the World Wrestling Federation. Huge feuds with Macho Man Randy Savage, Rick Rude. In particular, he never feuded with Hulk Hogan, something that made me very upset as a kid. Jake likes to say that Hogan refused to work with Jake because Jake was more over than the Immortal one. Jake particularly talks about two events that happened on house shows and where they began a feud. And when Jake started to mount a comeback, the crowd would chant DDT. And so Hogan refused to work with Jake out of fear that Jake would be coming off looking like a babyface. I don't know if that would be the case. I know as a kid I would have been on the side of the Hulkster, but who knows? Here we go, Jake. Jake looking pretty good actually at this point. 2006, which is 14 years ago. Jake has gone through a lot of changes since this match. Obviously, his documentary Resurrection of Jake the Snake, and where he moves in with Diamond Dallas Page and Scott Hall and revives his life, really. Here we go. Test of strength here. Mercy, if you will. And Jake right away goes to the ground. Machete overpowering, and you get a count. A little bit of a mental lapse there by Roberts as his shoulders go back to the mat for a 2 count. Would have been an anticlimactic way to lose there, Jake. Again to the ground. And we almost see a bridge up, but we don't. Oh, Jake with a knee to the side of Machete there. Maybe cueing in that the good sportsmanship has ended. Machete was a mainstay in Coastal Championship Wrestling through the early 2000s. Southeastern Championship is up for grabs. Something that I think would have fit Jake, or would fit Jake perfectly, being from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Now the audience is giving Jake a little bit of love here. And they lock up again. Go behind. Oh, Jake with the wrench of the arm. This match is about 10 years after a great Boy Meets World episode where Jake, Brother Love, and Vader, they work in Corey and Corey's older brother. It's a pretty interesting episode. If you have the Disney Plus, I'm sure it's on there. The crowd with a "you still got it" chant. 32 years after Jake's debut. 32 years in the business at this point, so clearly psychologically Jake has all of the tools. Crowd firmly on Robert's side here. Another lockup. Arm wrench. Oh, a right hand from Machete. Putting Jake into the corner there. This is 6 years before the famous Beyond the Mat documentary that gave a little bit of a negative light to Jake Roberts. Very humanizing documentary. Jake asking Machete to take a step back, and Machete obliges him. It looks like Jake has a little bit of a knee issue here in his left knee. In 2008, David Smith Jr., son of British Bulldog, threw a coffee in Jake Roberts' face at a WrestleCon in New Orleans, which Jake originally was going to press charges, but Smith apologized. These were apparently for some comments, right hand by Roberts, some comments that Roberts had made about his father. And of course, after an apology, all was well and good. Roberts also had a very short stint in World Championship Wrestling, a memorable but short stint, the coal miner's glove match. He had burned a bridge after WrestleMania 8, where he lost to The Undertaker. He had been promised a backstage role, this is what Roberts says, promised a backstage role similar to a role Pat Patterson had. Patterson had stepped away. And originally he was told he was going to get the role. Then apparently his drinking and alcohol problems may have stopped him from getting that role, and so he decided he needed to leave. He had held up the company for money to lose, and Roberts goes to the DDT and Machete avoids. Held up the company that he would lose. He would not lose to The Undertaker unless he was given his payment, at which he was given his payment and promptly left to WCW, where he was promised a executive role, executive creative role that was promised and then given away because of, I believe it was Bill Watts coming in, an old Mid-South friend of his. And Machete with smacking a water out of a fan's hand over here. And gone are the niceties as this match heats up. Jake going for the DDT. Of course, the DDT, an unbelievable finisher, one of the best finishers of all time. And when Jake hits it, the match is over. He's taunting Machete with the DDT. Yeah, that mid-90s period, early 90s period was very difficult for Jake because he had burned bridges in WCW and the World Wrestling Federation. He would not return until 96 to the World Wrestling Federation. That famous Stone Cold 316 promo after he beats Jake at the King of the Ring. And we're going to see another lockup here, or just Jake going for that DDT. The fans want a DDT. And the referee stopping the lock. Doesn't want to see any closed fists, which is a very different time in the wrestling world now. Machete puts his hand out, and Jake slaps it away. And here we go, they lock up again. Machete backs Jake into a corner. Ooh! Ooh! Knife edge chops, and Jake reverses it, and an overhand slaps right to Machete. Shoots him off into the corner. Jake right behind him, and takes a knee to the head, but he holds on. But Jake couldn't hold on for long. Roberts is down, and we get the first pin attempt, a 2 count, into the front face lock. Referee checking for a choke. Roberts had some memorable ECW appearances in '97. Everything Roberts did was memorable. Everything he does is psychologically correct. I don't think people give Jake too much credit for his in-ring work, but he didn't have to do much. And if you watch his matches, they're real. They look real. They feel real. Particularly the Randy Savage matches, I believe Tuesday in Texas. Wonderful. Rick Rude matches, wonderful. Ricky Steamboat matches, very good. Even the match with Sting was better than remembered. Jake with another arm drag. Machete's right up. Big clothesline. Down goes Jake. And he goes for the pin. And we get a 2 count. Back to the front. Face lock. Roberts getting to the rope. And they go down to a lateral side. Oh, Jake with a little bit of the language to the referee. Refusal to quit. Roberts is flailing here. Got a little bit of an up close and personal look. The audience clearly rooting for Jake Roberts here. Calling for the DDT. But Jake is fading here. This would be a huge win for Machete. Roberts moved in with Diamond Dallas Page in 2013. 6 years after this match. And that's 2. One more and Jake is done. But he's raising his hand. Machete doesn't know what to do to take care of him. We have 1. We have 2. This third one would mean the end of the match. And he's up. Jake calling on the audience. Oh, and a chin drop there. Oh, he misses the clothesline. And Machete with a dangerous back elbow to the head. Down goes Roberts. And a 1 count. Back into the front face lock. Well, Machete's not being very creative in his attempts to bring down Jake, but he's wearing him down. It is effective. You could see Roberts slowing. Referee checking for a choke. And Roberts trying to get to that rope. And that big size 13 snakeskin boot gets to the rope there, but he couldn't maintain it. I believe the ref should be breaking that. I believe just a touch should be able to break the rope, ref, but okay. Not great officiating this match. And Jake is there. Should have been broken early. And he's refusing to break the hold, and he's broken it. Now he must give the man some space, but grabbing Jake by the ear and back to the front face lock. If Joey Machete is anything, he's consistent. Back to the front face lock, down to his stomach. You see he's on his... Just want to listen closely to Jake here. He's a master in that ring. It's a surprise that, and maybe this is not the case, but that Jake Roberts wasn't able to, after he was cleaned, to be able to get a creative position in a large company. Hopefully for All Elite Wrestling, they're using him because for all intents and purposes, as a mind for wrestling, he seems to understand. And obviously at this point in he almost is 45 years, almost 50 years in the wrestling business at this point, 1974, 46 years. As a top guy, you would think he would be useful in a place like All Elite Wrestling, and I hope they use him as such. As the executive consultant right now for Lance Archer, who's a wonderful, wonderful wrestler. Jake likes to refer to Cody Rhodes as Caesar, which I think is perfect, and I wonder if it was Jake's idea. Jake trying to get to Damien, and Machete cuts him off with a boot to the back of the head. Drags him back to the center, and let me guess, front face lock. You can clearly hear Jake say, "This is nice." Thanks, Jake. Roberts has spent a lot of this match on his side, or on his back. Going back to his role in All Elite Wrestling, like I said, obviously they're using Jim Ross in an executive consultant type of role for the company, and hopefully Roberts follows. That being said, obviously Diamond Dallas Page is involved in the company in All Elite as well, so you have a good group of legends. That's something that I think that the World Wrestling Entertainment, and we get a 2 count here for Jake, something World Wrestling Entertainment might have missed the boat on for guys like Jim Ross, guys like 1, 2, and a 2 count. Guys like Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko. A little bit of a technical difficulty here, and we're back. A guy like Dean Malenko, like Arn Anderson. Now that Bruce Pritchard's back in the company. And a big right hand by Joey Machete. And back 1, 2, and Jake with a big kick out. Now Machete putting his hands on a referee, something that is not allowed in Coastal Championship Wrestling. That would result in a huge fine in 2020. Not sure how Machete was handled at this point. Jake getting to his feet. Big right hand by Machete. And Jake to his knees, and is a knockout. The referee has to be thinking, and a 2 count. Referee has to be wondering if Jake can continue. Machete very frustrated that he's unable to beat Jake. Getting in the ref's face for the 1, 2, 3. Machete, the Southeastern champion. Machete getting to the crowd where he should be focusing on Roberts here. Machete calling Roberts up. Well, the referee asking if Roberts will give up. And of course he doesn't. Machete asking to raise his hand. Machete asking prematurely, I believe. Roberts seemingly asking for some reprieve. Pulling his pants down, and the right hand by Machete. Right hand from Machete. And Roberts giving him the 1. Giving him the 1 count. Takes a big clothesline. Blocked. Roberts with some punches and a big clothesline of his own. Has to be thinking about that short arm DDT. Sorry, short arm clothesline, and he hit it. And you know what's coming next, the DDT. If Roberts is able to hit this, it's over, ladies and gentlemen. Another kick by Roberts. And into the DDT. Into the corner by Machete. And who is this? Who is this masked man? Roberts with the right hand. Down he goes. But Machete. The referee was knocked out. Roberts is still focusing on the masked man. He's back up in the corner, and we get the punch into the roll-up. And Jake seems to be out. And that's it. Machete's your winner. What a right hand by the masked man. He must be 6'4". And here we are, Machete, your CCW Southeastern champion. And there it was. It was the loaded glove. Was it knuckles? Was it metal? But the masked man had hit Jake with a loaded glove. Unbelievable. Machete should be disgusted. Winning the CCW Southeastern Championship, retaining it, using methods like that against Jake Roberts. "60-year-old Jake Roberts is laying in the ring while Machete hot dogs it outside." And now the masked man calls out Machete for that belt. Jake is stirring, and he's mad. And here comes the snake. We knew it was coming. And look at that huge boa constrictor. My skin is crawling just looking at it. Away goes the masked man. Here's Jake. Jake Roberts is a legend, like I said earlier. Somebody that growing up I had huge reverence for. I always felt that he had so much more to give. Unfortunately, drug and alcohol problems hampered him a little bit in regards to his career. I wish he'd had an opportunity to take over WCW's creative, especially in 1992. You have a cast of characters there that could have done very well with Jake at the helm. You have Sting, Vader, and you have, obviously, no Ric Flair, but you have guys like Barry Windham at the time who were bigger stars. Cactus Jack as well. Imagine Cactus Jack and Jake Roberts pairing, or a long-term pairing, or a long-term feud. Truly a missed opportunity. I think he also could have done more in ECW in 97 to its close. But again, drug and alcohol issues hampered Jake. Guys, thank you again for being with us here at Coastal Championship Wrestling Classics. We're going to have a lot of new matches coming up during this time. Please hit that subscribe button. Please buy a t-shirt, and also make sure that you give us a call for Coastal Championship Wrestling's training facility. If you're a professional wrestler, want to be a professional wrestler, if you want to be a manager, if you want to be a producer, an announcer, please give us a call. Coastal Championship Wrestling. Subscribe to the YouTube, like the page, and more. This is Cecil Sharpe signing off.
I'm sure. And I want to tell you something, man. I've been listening to 32 years, man. And in my business, when you say somebody's a stiff prick, that means they're solid. You're a stiff prick. I appreciate that. So please listen. I've been wrestling 32 years now. You know how I've been wrestling 7, 8 years? 8 years. God, that pissed me off. I am hungry tonight because I want to be. I'm glad you made me. Yes, you do me a favor. Would you take I'm not big to you, but you take. I swear to God, I will pay you to do this. You got it? So right now, you go there. I had a whole lot to do, right? Stay away from guns, I'll open up that store.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Tell a friend and bring your own confidence at home. Don't forget to check out the website CoastalChampionshipWrestling.com for all the latest news and reviews from the world of professional wrestling. Once again, thanks for coming. Tell a friend, and we'll see you next time after matches. Good night, everybody.